where do you pack the bolo tie? I feel like you have to put it in do you have like a bolo tie pocket?
I do. It's bulletproof. No, I have. My wife will put it in her toiletry bag.
Toiletry bag.
Yeah.
I really like that you said toiletry bag. I got to see your toiletry bag because I am in Sam Tallent's hotel room, people.
Yes. Hey, everyone.
I feel like a lot of men don't pack in a toiletry bag, but I saw you had one, so I'm impressed by that.
I do. I don't know why I have that specific one, but yeah, I have a toiletry bag. My wife has one that's cool. She can unzip it and it folds out and she hangs it on the bathroom door. And it's like a whole mobile medicine cabinet. Everything's in there in its place. And it's always like that wherever she goes.
I have the same one. So we'll see if Emily and I have the same brand.
I bet you
do the same thing. And then I'm just stocked. And honestly, it's gotten to the point where, because I travel so much, I don't even unpack it. I just live as if when I'm at home, I will just roll that bitch up. And it's like, that's what I'm using. Yeah, I hang
so does she.
Yes. I am literally at home.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's so efficient. And the so use of space is just amazing. Because I pack very well when it comes to clothing. But when it comes to like your actual like bathroom goods, I have like 4 things. That's what I've always had.
Well, and don't you find, because you're always on the road, like, do you go and get travel size, or are you the person who's gonna, pour your shampoo in individual to-go containers? I don't even know what they're called, so I'm gonna say to-go, as if we're going to like, a fast food place.
Yeah, you want to eat your shampoo in the car.
I mean, I've seen crazier things. Sam.
Yeah, you're in a hurry. In between shifts, you want to finish your conditioner.
Anything to be fresh.
Yes, I understand. No, my big cross to bear is that I've gone through like probably 55 toothbrushes this year. There's probably like a small archipelago off that big trash island that's floating in the Pacific that's just like my toothbrushes.
So do you recycle?
Next question.
But I have a serious question for you.
Yeah.
There's something underneath the hookahs that I want to talk about.
Okay.
Have you ever tried selling feet pics?
No, of course not. I have not had to dabble in the darker parts of human enterprise. I have not.
But I really feel like
you?
I have not.
Okay.
I don't think I have cute feet. Maybe after this, you and I can compare toes.
I've never felt the sexual urge to be near a foot. I don't understand the feet pathology.
You're not going to lick Emily's toes?
I will, as a gag, I'll put my wife's feet in my mouth because my wife is perfect, but she has like big, she has sturdy feet, And I'll be like, oh, you like this? And she's like, stop.
There's got to be someone out there, though, that I think has a fetish for those feet. But your Monarch shoes, you love, you're a shoe guy. And so I did this.
I tried to be.
I did this for you, okay?
Yes.
I wore my Nike Airs for you.
Thank you.
And I also want to dress like you a little bit.
So you wore the giant novelty shirt?
I'm wearing.
I've never worn blue jeans.
Okay.
You've never seen me in blue jeans.
I got to tell you,
Yeah.
I was like, maybe I could wear shorts because you wear shorts for your special.
It's
which
cold outside.
I did hear is like the comedy no-go to not wear shorts. Were you doing that to like kind of ruffle some feathers and cause a scene?
I feel more confident in shorts, and yes, I was being a bit of a little brat about it. Because women don't have to be told what to wear. They get to wear these cool dresses, or like women can wear whatever they want on stage, but men are not supposed to wear shorts, and I did, much to the chagrin of people who can see.
Speaking of your feet, and then I swear I will move off of this.
No, sure. We're on Wisconsin's #1 podiatry show. What is this?
I know, right? Just explain to me what these feet are all about and this tattoo.
Those are my human feet. Those are my feet.
Those got printed at the Madison Concourse Hotel. So someone's going to find that later.
This is on their hard drive now.
I'm not going to lie. I did delete it because I was like, what if Sam goes to use the computer tomorrow and sees his feet on the desktop?
I would be startled, to say the least. Well, now that I know it was you, I wouldn't have been like, oh God, there's an assassin in the ranks. I got Joke Life tattooed on my toes. And then this was taken, I can't remember where the photo was taken, but I used this as the cover to various CDRs that I would print on the road. And I would print these out and put them in a plastic bag and sell them for whatever people would pay. This was like,
so you did sell feet pics?
I sold this feet pic. Very good. Oh no, I've been hoisted.
I have bamboozled you, Sam. You don't even know yourself. You don't even know how you've been compensated in the past.
I have sold feet pics. It's these feet. It's these human hooves right here. I also, real quick, got this tattoo from a former white supremacist who lived on our couch in this punk rock house I lived in. And he went into prison when he was like 13, and he was deeply institutionalized. And he had to join some... he had to join up with some ideologies that he didn't believe in strictly for survival due to prison politics. So he couldn't pay rent, so he would just give us tattoos. And he gave these to me, and my feet bled for so long because he had no empathy for people's pain. Because he was used to like tattooing, you know, like love and hate above people's collarbones.
No
or,
regrets.
Like, full throats and faces. No regrets. Yes. No fear. So anyway, yeah. And then shout out to Mike. He's dead now, but he was a good guy.
Shout out to Mike. Wait, but he's a white supremacist, so.
Yeah, but it was just so he could survive. When he got out, you know, our house was a multicultural hub in Denver. People were in and out of there. He had no hate. He just had some swastika tattoos that he couldn't get covered up because he didn't have any money.
Well, he couldn't cover, but he could have covered them up with himself.
He couldn't reach him on his back. He couldn't get to him. Yeah, because you know they were just a giant swastika with angel wings. Well, yeah. I mean, I've had to be a Mike apologist for a long time because I was like, what would you do if you went to prison when you were 15? You know?
Oh my gosh.
You'd probably.
That's my biggest fear is getting like incarcerated for something I never did.
Oh my God.
Wait, what's railroaded?
Same thing.
Same thing. Yeah, no. I like that freaks me out. I can't sleep at night. I feel like he was someone you met in Ithaca when you were on that is it Anarchy Commune?
Yeah. It was an anarchist
Denver.
commune. This was in Denver. I lived in a lot of group home situations. The original one, I don't think that they would have allowed him in due to how political they were, because they were all prison abolitionists and, you know, that kind of thing. They were as far left as, you know, before getting armed, they were as far left as you can be. But yeah, this guy was a Denver guy. This guy was friend with my sister.
Gosh, and you love Denver.
I love Denver. I totally love Denver. Yeah.
Like, so if it doesn't matter if he was in jail or if he's going to just, you know, make you bleed, if he's from Denver, he's your guy.
No, that's not the truth.
He's your guy, Sam. Just admit it.
He was from Byers, so I can't claim anyone from Byers.
All right, well, you're from Elizabethtown, so.
I am from Elizabeth.
I love it.
646, home of the Cardinals.
So that is on which arm? The 646?
No, I have 303 on this arm.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that's the area code for Denver. 646 was like, my phone number was like 303-646-3237. That was my phone number growing up.
And what is your phone number today?
And it's still my phone number for my parents' house. So no prank calls, please.
So everybody go ahead and give the Clubhouse a call.
Yeah.
I think
Taylor, you know so much.
I really think Dave's going to appreciate that.
Oh my God. You know my father's name.
Here's the thing. Actually, I'm going to ask everybody, please call that number and call the Clubhouse and get a hold of Dave. Speaking of...
I hope he has a landline over there.
Speaking of your family.
Wow.
They are all in for hashtag joke life. It's on your feet. It's been a part of your life. In a lot of ways, your family has kind of set the tone for you for humor. Yeah. I have a couple of other pics I want to show you. I promise that they are not any more feet pics. But
I'm so excited. You're doing such a good job.
Thank you, Sam.
Yeah.
I just want to show you this.
Yeah.
You were quite the prankster. How did this note come about?
Whoa, what? What the hell? Where did you get this?
I have my sources, okay?
What?
Actually, joke's on you. I was at Dave's house last night.
No way.
At the Clubhouse.
What? You were hanging out with Dirty Dave? Oh, well, he is single now, so just make sure he, doesn't get too handsy. I don't know where you got this. My dad, he worked for the preeminent marijuana company in Denver, and I used to leave these notes all over his office when I'd go visit. Kayvon was his boss's name.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, who is Kayvon?
But yeah, this is crazy.
It's like Dave is with us today. So that is your handwriting, Sam.
This is my handwriting, yeah, which is also reminiscent of my father's handwriting. But he's a lot more like square and angular. But yeah, Dave, I'm sorry you're fired. Sorry, we'll talk. I like this one. And then if you're ever in like any place in a office or in a kitchen or a bar where you have access to the whiteboard, I like to write up there like, take out trash, clean tables, and then like fire some employee and leave it up there to see what I can sew. This is nuts.
And then you just got to add at the bottom, Kayvon said so.
Kayvon.
And then everyone's going to forever just be wondering who the hell is Kayvon? Like I was.
Yes.
But the thing is, so you made this prank on your dad and you're like, can I have it?
No, please.
No. You're like,
what is this?
You're like, I want to see what this is.
It's my mom's autopsy photos.
No, it is not. But shout out to Betsy, and I'm very sorry for your loss. And she truly seems like such a character. No, Sam, seriously. Like when I was just learning a lot about you, because I wanted to like know your family. Like you guys really are super tight knit.
Yes.
You love, and you admitted it on your Instagram. You said, I love good, wholesome fam time.
I do. I love wholesome activities.
You won't hide
spending
that.
time with my sister and my brother-in-law and my dad and my
But like,
cousins.
why do you fart on Sophia?
Oh, she loves it. So that was a game. We used to play the fart game with my sister, and we would just, me, my dad, and my uncles would fart on her, and then she wasn't allowed to play.
So you're Dr. Fart.
Yeah, I just like blast. I'm not Dr. Fart. That's a different kid.
Who's Dr. Fart?
I can't give up that name, but that's a different person.
So we gotta roll with just not knowing who that is. But you know what we are gonna know?
Yes.
Is that your baby fart is what just I think that's what set Sophia off the ledge. I think that was like, I want to know like how she's doing today and if she's traumatized.
She is deaf in her left ear now. All of her hair on that side of her head turned gray. She can't put her contacts in anymore.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty foul.
So if you have like about 1,000 more views on that video, just know it was me last night and my boyfriend. He was like, "What is that?" And I was like, "Oh, Sam Tallent farting."
What is that? It's like the bloop from the deep in the depths of the ocean.
And I have to tell you something too, Sam. I grew up, my mom would not let me say fart.
Really?
And I have said it more.
Were you a poot family?
So my parents will say the F word, all the swears in the book.
Yeah.
But for some reason, fart ain't gonna do it for her. It's
shut up was that one in our house.
Shut up.
You couldn't say shut up.
But were you like, is it how you say it though? Like, what if you're like, shut up? Or is it like, shut
up, Sophie? Yeah.
That's
shut up, Dad.
Thanks for the
example. My God, we don't say that in this house.
Kayvon does. Kayvon says shut up.
Kayvon. Good guy.
Okay, so now
what do you have there? What is this?
So this is a piggyback to that note. Okay. So you were kind of being a little prankster. You know, Day was probably like, I'm sick of this shit today. Yeah. But then you decided to write him a different note that's kind of more, I would say, Sam Tallent.
Just kidding. I love you, Sam. Yes, that is me.
XO.
I love XOXO.
Don't you ever? Isn't XO nice?
I throw it in everything. I sign people's books with XOXO, and it feels like deeply personal, intimate, but I like it.
I like it too. I feel like I've thought about putting on my emails for a while, like XO, and then I was like, ooh. Then and I'm like, oh, can I come to your hotel room? And then you'd be like, this girl's just saying a lot of different messages. She'll do a lot to get the podcast interview, you know? And I'm kind of like, I'll play it up. Yeah. And then when we get there, I'll totally be like, how dare you?
Yeah, exactly.
But I'll play it up, Sam. Don't you fret.
You do whatever you have to as long as you're maintaining your boundaries and your safety.
Okay, so I was mentioning, but really
it does, when you guys were down there and you came up with your cameraman, it did seem like we might have been up to some unseemly things. But
especially when you said Emily was in New Zealand, I was like, oh, I got him all night. Yeah. 17 hours ahead. He can't even FaceTime her.
Yeah, I know.
We're doing this interview all night.
It wouldn't be cheating for 17 hours.
I can't even go that long. 17 hours? No, that's my Guantanamo Bay. Yours might
17 minutes. I'm like, what are we doing?
Yours might be watching yourself back from the past years, which I don't know why. You're extremely talented, and even if the jokes didn't land back then, I mean, come on. You gave it a shot.
It's just the sound of your own voice is what I hate, you know?
Which I'll be listening to both of ours for like the next week. So we talked about you grew up on humor, with also one of your first jokes being when you were 3 years old. What uncle talked about Las Vegas a lot and provided some material for your first joke being, I just flew in from Vegas and boy, are my arms tired.
You know what? So that joke is not even my best bit from back then. There was another bit that I would do because we had this like, my parents got a new wooden floor in the kitchen and they had curtains before the pantry and I would slide through it and do that joke. But then there was another joke that was like, why did the chicken cross the road? And the punchline was because he was a duck. And that was like my big first original joke that I wrote.
And how old were you there?
It was the same act, like 3 or 4 years old.
The same act.
Same act, yeah.
You were literally like, my last name is Tallent. I'm gonna be what I was born into.
Taylor, it's so weird. I have no idea where this like urge to do stand-up came from. Because I mean, I was so young. I don't have any memories of not wanting to do stand-up. Like when I came into consciousness, I was like, I'm gonna be a comedian. It was just decided, you know? So it was like, I don't know where those damn jokes came from. It's very strange to consider because my parents, like, they didn't hide content from me. Like, my dad showed me all types of shit I shouldn't have seen when I was a kid. But to think that, like, I saw, like, a very hacky... My dad must have done that joke to make fun of stand-up. And that's where I got it from. I was just doing street jokes right away, you know? Anything to kill up there, that kind of thing.
I believe that for like what I'm doing, like I always just had the love for people, and I feel like I literally get more energy. Like tonight, I feel like we're on top of the world right now, Sam.
You're
I hope
really engaging. You're doing a great job.
Thank you so much.
I mean, honest to God, I didn't know what I was walking into. You seemed like you had your shit together online. You were very eager. I was like, I can kill 2 hours this way. But yeah, no, this is killer. Great work.
Thank
I'm
you,
so happy.
Sam.
Yeah.
That really means so much.
Thank you for not wasting my time. I mean, appreciate it.
How would I like tear your hotel room apart and then waste your time? You know, I got to really show out today, and I really appreciate the opportunity.
I'm glad.
Speaking of opportunities, because whenever people respond to me, like how you did, you responded to my email within like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was very short and to the point. I'm like, okay, Sam Tallent is so busy. I just immediately thought to myself, wow, he's giving me a chance. And it meant a lot to me. And so I'm wondering, who other than your friend Brent Gill gave you a chance at your first comedy show?
So many people have given me a chance. Eric Ferrone, he ran the Bovine Metropolis Theater in Denver, where I took improv classes when I was 18, and he took a shine to me, and he put me in the main stage cast like 3 months after I started there. Like there was like tiers, there's levels of improv class, and it's like over the course of a year. And by level 3 out of the 5 tiers, I was already like he gave me a big opportunity. Ben Kronberg, Kyle Kinane, Tim Dillon, Ron White, all these people have given me massive opportunities. Wendy Curtis at Comedy Works. And you remember, I got a text message today from a young man named Blake Hammond in Cincinnati who was like, hey man, thanks for always being so nice to us. You don't have to do that. And I was like, well, you don't have to, but you guys are really funny. Like, I want more people to know about you. It's not altruistic. When you put someone on and you can brag about, oh, Blake Hammond's really funny, Rand Barnacle's really funny, Christy Buckley's really funny, then people see them and then you look cool. You know what I mean? So it's just like more like cultural cachet you have. It's kind of a tastemaker. It's not to be nice. It's just so I can like brag about having better taste than everyone.
You're just building your Rolodex.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I respect the hell out of it, because I feel the same way too. When like, well, first of all, I do think you live by being nice, and you do believe that gets you far. And
I think it helps. It certainly doesn't hurt.
And it has in your career. Like how I brought up Brent Gill. It was your first paid gig at Albine.
Yep. And
he gave you that shot. And from then on, you realize if you're easy to work with and nice, it'll come back to you.
It's just it's nice to be nice to the nice. You know what I mean? So like, it doesn't cost you anything to be nice to people and to be available for people. Like I would have just been reading in here if we weren't doing this, you know? So hopefully that it's worthwhile on your end as well, you know?
Well, I mean, of course it's worthwhile on my end. Are you kidding me? But like, I do feel bad because you just bought that book today. So now you're a couple days behind.
No.
2 books last week.
I got a book being delivered here tomorrow. And I went out trying to buy that book because I didn't want to wait the day to buy it. So instead I got a fucking hardcover instead.
I can't.
Now I have to travel with a hardcover.
So
it's a nightmare.
So that's why you don't like it for the
terrible.
traveling.
If you saw just how packed to the gills, how bulbous my bag is with my own clothing.
Oh, don't worry. We're going to go through what's in Sam's bag.
We're going to go one by one.
That's going to be a whole nother YouTube segment. Don't you fret. I'm going to find 17 more pairs of Hokas and then probably like a mini Monarch Air keychain, because you can't do without them though, Sam.
I feel bad, but then the Monarchs got cool and they're just not a good shoe, it turns out, structurally. They look cool. I love the shape of the Monarch, but they're not good for walking around Europe in.
So when I see, okay, hang on, hot flex.
No, I mean, that's the whole thing. Is like I buy
love
these
them,
shoes.
but like, when I go to Estonia or, I perform in Stockholm, they're just not the shoe for me.
Yeah, you know what? Yes, I am flexing.
Cheers.
I love travel. Cheers.
I know you don't come up with any of your jokes beforehand. You just write them on stage.
No, I have an act, but I build the act by improvising on stage.
And so it's
I don't want to sound like I'm a genius. I'm not.
Well, you did say that online, so you are a genius in that, right?
Oh, yeah. I've also said that I was a sociopath and a dominator online. And then this person in Denver grabbed a hold of that and was like, he's admitting it, everyone. He's a monster. It's like, oh, no, you just don't understand trying to be funny in an interview. It was a sad time. But yes, I said a lot of bold things online.
Which, I mean, you gotta in those times. So then is Kyle Kinane, he's also from Addison, Illinois. Is he going to make a trip for your Chicago show?
Oh, I'm sure Kyle's booked that weekend. He lives in Oregon.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, come on. He loves a Chicago dog. I think he'll want to make the trip for you.
He does, but he's also vegan now because of his gout.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I interviewed some other day and they're vegan. And then I found out my videographer that day was vegan. I mean, everyone is vegan. Please tell me you're not vegan.
No, but I have been. I've gone through like heavy periods of veganism.
Is Emily vegan?
In fact, Emily is a doctor, and she read. She saw one of these documentaries and then read up on it, and she was like, "We don't need to eat meat." So I was cooking only vegan at home for a long time, and I gotta say, it is better. You feel better.
The only time I have seen you in the kitchen, Sam, is when the fire alarm went off when you're trying to make steaks.
Oh, is that my dog losing it in that video?
I believe so, Gordy.
Yeah, Gordy. R.I.P.
Yeah, I don't think Gordy, either he was pissed you didn't make him steak, or he was like, my eyes. The smoke got to him.
I'm a great cook. Don't let that slander stand.
You cook for Emily every night, you say.
I cook for Emmy whenever we're at home.
What are you cooking?
Dinner. I'm cooking a lot of chickpea-based like curries most of the time.
I love curry. Okay, that's what you got to eat while you're here is curry in the box.
Curry in the box?
Yes.
What is this?
Well, first of all, I'm surprised you don't know Box Man. You should know all about anything.
You've done so much research. There was a big push to put Boxman back in this next special, but
I need Boxman, and I need you to. I love when Boxman drinks beer.
That was my favorite bit in the special. Was Boxman taking a drink,
and it was at the end.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is the part that I was just like, oh. Boxman drinking a beer is too goddamn good.
That special was initially 2 hours long. It was supposed to be 4 episodes, but it was butchered by the production company who bought it from us. But there was a lot more Boxman in that thing. There was a whole Boxman arc in the special that we initially turned in.
And like, who said, like, Sam, I don't think so. I don't think Boxman's going to be a hit. And then what did you say? Like, no, man, trust me, it's going to be a hit.
I think Boxman speaks for itself.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, Boxman really, he connected with a lot of people. We all feel like we're trapped in a box, you know?
So that's where it comes from. So it's
it came from being stoned in a hotel room and being like, hey, I can fit in this box, and then singing a song and dancing around. There was no higher thought to it.
Now that I think about it, you were kind of teasing the viewers with Boxman. Boxman was there in the beginning, then Boxman was there in the middle.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he makes his appearance on stage. It was like the true character.
Yeah.
Just
Boxman did time in Kansas City.
Throughout.
Yeah.
And so going back to your dog Gordy, whenever, like, let's say if he freaks out over an alarm clock, couldn't you just go over to the clubhouse and, you know, get some mushrooms from the mushroom farm? Anything that you're working up over there?
I mean, that mushroom farm, we just do like reishi mushrooms and lion's mane and stuff. I think that those are poisonous to dogs.
Okay, then definitely don't give them to Gordy.
Also, Gordy's long dead. Gordy's been dead since July of last year. Yeah,
July of last year.
Yeah.
Okay, R.I.P.
He was fine. We just put him down.
Gordy.
We were kind of over it.
You're like sitting here like, how do I tell her that my dog died last year?
No, I just figured you've been so like astute in your research that you were building up to some payoff. But yeah, he's dead.
No, I miss the dog. I'm not even gonna lie to you. There was nothing that can come out right now. I'm like, okay. Fuck all the Gordy bits. Like, all right, no more Gordy on this one.
Bring in the dogs that look like Gordy. Well, no, I just didn't misery post it. I didn't mind, my dog is dead for likes, because I hate when people do that.
I saw a really long dog post recently, like to the point where in the comments they said like more in the comments.
Oh God,
it was a long one, and then I thought to myself like, wow, I don't have a dog, so I can't relate.
I think that dogs have climbed too high in the hierarchy of American culture. Like dogs are fine.
Agree.
Don't bring your dog to the bar. Don't make your dog your personality. Hey, dog guy's here. Hey, everyone. Like, remember that cool guy who's got that dog? No one's ever said that.
No, truly. Like, I feel like dogs become such a flex. And like, people think that they can just bring their dogs to my house. And I hate that.
Insane.
I blame it on my landlord.
It's insane. They shouldn't just assume you can bring a dog over.
I'm like, do not bring your dog just to hang out. Like, first of all, I don't have a dog because I have white furniture.
Yeah.
I have like this like almost like an oatmeal color. I really want to give you like a good description.
Yeah.
Couch. It's a love seat. If you want to come
like
by this weekend, let me know. Yes.
Yeah.
It's super comfortable. And I don't have a dog because I don't want my shit getting ruined.
Totally
so no, you
understandable.
can't have your dog over.
Yeah. People
Point
fly
blank.
with their dogs. Like, how codependent and strange are you that you need to get a fake piece of paper that says this is an emotional support dog? It pisses me off. And I know everyone's gonna be mad.
What's your audience, would you say? As you get older, like I saw, for example, recently, sorry, now I have so many questions for you, Sam.
Please, yeah.
But I saw recently 50 Cent was talking about how Madonna, it's like, you're 65, you're not like a virgin anymore.
Right.
Like you gotta kind of, be with the times. Do you think about that
people
as
want to
you
hear
get
the
older?
hits. If you go see Madonna, she doesn't play like a virgin. Why do you spend $600?
I need her in the exact outfit.
Yeah, I mean,
I need the full thing.
she earned it. Let her
And
do
bring
the victory
Fitty on the
lap.
stage. I won't care.
That'd be great.
It'd be honestly like my Super Bowl dream.
Yeah, that'd be a slam dunk. I
think we're onto something.
I've never thought about gearing my content to anyone. I think my people are the kind of guy who like doesn't want to admit to reading Hemingway because his friends will call him gay. You know what I mean?
And
like,
you're the guy who's like, I will put on my Instagram and get in my feels. And just say I like it. Yeah. I feel like I know you through your content.
Oh, that's nice.
Like your dad posts something like, love you, dad.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. Like I feel like I don't see a lot of men saying that.
Well, I also really don't. My biggest trait is that I, for some reason, don't really care what people think. My sister always says that's the best thing about me, is that I don't really care what anyone thinks besides like, as long as I'm not blowing it with my friends and family.
That is honestly a life hack.
Yeah.
Were you born like that? Or like, does that something that came? Was that something that like your mom and dad instilled in you?
I don't know. And it sounds like braggy. I've had my feelings hurt by people online saying mean things, but like for the most part, it takes a lot to really like get me. And when they do get me, it's like, well played, you know?
You talk about like people who are earnest with their art, you appreciate the most.
I like Sincerity. I've never been opposed to Sincerity. I think it's so underrated. Because the only real thing that you can monetize that's worth anything, if you're an artist, is your sincere, output and your experiential lens that you kind of refract the world in. To sound incredibly pretentious, but yeah. So like trying to copy anyone else is not what an artist should do.
Is like chapter 4 of improv, or like the tiers. I mean,
mm-hmm.
Is the first thing is like the class 5 minutes, and you walk in and they say yes and.
Pretty much. No, not even that. You don't get to yes and until like level 2. You have to go through zip zaps up and follow the follower. You learn all the games to get out of your head. And it's just like 8 weeks of looking like a complete juvenile buffoon with like the funny guy at the office and like lady whose husband died and she wants to get out of the house. These are all the people who are in your first round of improv. And you don't even get to scene work until like 10 weeks in.
Well, I feel like improv is almost a life skill everybody should do. I have an improv class still that I have to take at Second City.
Really?
I booked it. I went through like a little phase, and I'm still kind of interested, where I took like an online acting class.
Yeah.
I signed up for Second City just because I was moving from Chicago.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to try these things.
I think you'd be so good at it.
Well,
you're an active listener. You're engaged. You're present. Like these are all the things you're going to learn. You know?
Can we just do like an improv class this weekend? Like, why do I got to pay Second City for it?
Well, because Second City is Chicago's home for improv comedy. I always wanted to do Second City. That's what I thought I would do. I thought I was going to play football. I didn't get to play football. So then I was like, I'm going to move to Chicago and do Second City. And I was like, I'll go to Metro in Denver for a year, see how it is. Then I'll go to Chicago after I take these classes. But then I got into stand-up and I gave up on improv. But it was such a valuable thing.
I just think it would be a way for me to kind of also not care so much like what people think, and just like it's an experiment. Like you have to be silly, you have to be goofy. Like you were saying, when it comes to improv, you liked it a lot because you didn't have to think. It was like you're on to the next thing.
You're responding. Yeah. You're moment to moment. You're reacting. You're listening. You're heightening. You're exploring. It's so good. It teaches you how to bomb as a comic. It teaches you how to go up there with nothing and you eat, because either you see the best improv you've ever seen or it's dog shit. There's no like okay improv. And that's the beauty of it. Horrifically eat it for 30 minutes and then get off stage and do it again. That's why improv's a valuable thing for a stand-up comedian.
But you wanted to move away from improv because you wanted to be a solo performer. Was being like an all-state for the Elizabeth Cardinals just get into your head a little bit? You're like, nah, I'm a solo act.
No, this is a multifaceted question. I am a jock about stand-up. I do. If I have like a decent set, I get off stage and I want to punch a hole in the wall. Not that I do. I control those emotions. But like I have to either kill or it was a waste of time. But when it came to being a football player, I was an offensive lineman. So I never touched the ball. I never got any glory. It was all about the good of the team. Like if I had a good job, no one mentioned my name. That was the whole point of the game. It was like, don't ever get your number called. Never get any undue attention. So I think it made me a better stand-up host being an offensive lineman. Because it taught me how to be like, for lack of a better term, selfless and be the good of the show. The host goes up, he eats it. If the host does a good job, no one thinks about the host. If the host bombs, everyone's like, the show sucked. It started with that first guy, he sucked, So that was the beauty of, that's the parallels there. I love being on a team, Taylor. I love being on a team.
Okay, that's what I want to talk to you about, because that's something we share, is our love for camaraderie.
Yeah, I love it.
I am obsessed with camaraderie, and like I through doing this, it's kind of more solo stuff. Unless like once I'm with the person, it's like, okay, I want to like stay here all night. So
I watched you did some woman on the street stuff. I saw on your Instagram.
I did.
Yeah.
We can go to the street this weekend.
I hate that. I think it's very brazen and bold for you to do it and good for you, but I hate that stuff.
Would you hate being approached on the street?
No, I would gladly have a sincere conversation with someone, even if it is, you know, a facsimile of one for content. It's fun to be bothered by a stranger when they have I think that is a fun thing, sincerely. But
Okay,
I hate when they're like, we're going to put you out there and you're going to go up and like bother people. That's how I view it.
Well, and I have a couple of bloopers I want to put out of people just straight up saying no, no. And I'm like, totally get it. Like 2 seconds, like don't want to disrupt your family. Like, so that was good for me because I'm learning like rejection. I mean, not that I haven't learned rejection now, which actually, did you know that we are one day apart, 10 years?
You're May?
I'm May 3rd.
Wow.
1997.
77. Oh, 97.
Wait, so.
I was going to say, you aged miraculously. Ever want to be May 1st? I always want to be May 1st because it was May Day.
So I love being May 3rd because I was born in the Derby. So we're 10 years apart.
Yeah.
So what do you envision for the rest of 36? And then what do you see for 37?
I don't know, dude. This last year was like such a momentous year. It was the best year of my life. And I always try and make this.
Wait, this was the best year of my life.
Oh, yeah?
No, really. A lot of like, I made a lot of big changes.
Yeah.
To my therapist. No, I'm kidding.
Has your therapy been rewarding?
So I actually haven't started therapy yet.
I haven't either.
But I want to.
I don't.
I feel like it would be like just fun to like camaraderie.
Yeah, but it's paid camaraderie. It's insincere.
True.
I think it's a valuable tool for a lot of people. It's just not something that I would ever do.
So why was this past year the best year of your life? I have to know.
I lived outside of the country for like 4 months total, almost 5 months. I traveled literally around the world. Last time I was in Madison, I got on a plane and flew to Japan with my wife. That was what we did for the beginning of the year.
You're like really, you're a little traveler over here.
I'm traveling a lot, and my last year was so action-packed that I was in Louisville on Wednesday, and I just looked up from my lunch and I said to my buddy Nathan Lund, I was like, oh yeah, I went to the Indianapolis 500 this year. Like I forgot about it. I sat in a race car. I was on the track.
That's when you know you had a good year, when you did so many things and you can't even remember each one.
Well, yeah, but then also you like just don't have that memory. Like I feel like I remember how much fun it was to be at the Indy 500, but I also like don't have any concrete things to hold on to. I have no clear images from it because we were also tanked, of course.
Boxman was enjoying a couple of beers. Don't mind him.
His mouth worked.
But okay, I love that for us. I feel like 36, 26 were our years. And then I could see, so 7 is my lucky number.
Okay.
So I'm really hyped for 27. Do you have a lucky number?
Gonna be good. Was 25 good?
25 killed it too.
Because that adds up to 7.
Here we go with get my calculator out. 4 plus 4 equals, me and Sam Tallent best friends. That's what it equals.
That's what it is.
So yeah, I thought 25 was good. I feel like, is this a hot take? Are you ready for this?
Sure.
I think the years get better.
Hopefully they do. Because a lot of people it doesn't happen. And they just like remember being 20 and they're like, I was the best.
That's true.
I was the best I ever was.
You don't want to peak as the All-State at Elizabeth, rooting for the Cardinals. You just don't.
No, you don't. You know what's fun about this is I don't get to have a lot of sincere conversations with young women. Because my sister now is 32, 33. I was always kept abreast of the goings on of like young women due to my sister. But now that 4-year divide between us, like I don't get to do this. This is fun.
Well, thank you for saying that.
It's like when you talk to a very old person too. You're like, I wish I got to talk to 80-year-olds more because their perspective is so valuable.
I couldn't agree more. I wish that I did that more with my grandparents. I missed an opportunity of asking them like what they were doing in their life.
I couldn't agree more. I wish I sat down with a tape recorder and just went start to finish with my grandparents, just their whole life story. And also what's nice is like your enthusiasm is good because you talk to young people sometimes, especially when I talk to the young men who come to my shows and their girlfriends. There's like this like nihilistic kind of we're doomed type thing that just hangs over them. That's their vibe. And you seem like you're ebullient, you're excited. It's good.
I'm learning so many words from you tonight. God, thank you. The best-selling novelist is really coming out right now. New York Times, is it?
Words are tools, and they have concrete meanings, and if you know the meanings to these words, you can better communicate. And that's all we're trying to do.
Yes, and absolutely. And
you sound pretentious. You sound like a fucking douche when you use words like that. So I'm sorry.
No, I don't ever take it like that. I actually want to get that. I had this app for a while. I forgot what it's called, but like where you learn a new word every day.
Yeah, it's great. There's so many of them. My word of the day today was Corsair. Just some kind of strange Spanish pirate. Or a Portuguese pirate. I can't remember.
Do you ever have this happen to you in life where you never think of something and like, so you told me Corsair.
Yeah.
This weekend, I bet you $1 million.
Oh my God.
Someone is going to tell me Corsair.
Yep.
And I'm going to say, you know what that is?
Yeah.
A word for Spanish pirate.
No, you're totally right.
That happens to me all the time.
Well, yeah. That's because you're engaged. You know what I mean? When you open yourself up to the chaos, you can start to interpret it in new, exciting ways.
And that's
find meaning in bullshit.
For sure. And I feel like that's a lot of what comedy is, and just like also not taking everything so seriously.
Yes, yeah.
So we got to go back. Your high school graduation gift from your mom was really unique. Typically, I feel like a lot of teenagers will get something that they'll be able to use in college, like a laptop or maybe a car. However, yours was improv classes at Bovine Metropolis Theater. So at that moment, did you have a feeling that those classes were going to set you up for the future?
My mom and my father, they believed in it all the way through. She was at my first show ever at Comedy Works. She was there for every show I did at the Bovine. She'd bring her friends, and they were scared, man. Like my mom, I remember in 2019, I did a thing with Will Smith for a show that never came out, but I took that money and I bought my mom and dad plane tickets to Paris for 2020. And this was after her stroke, so she couldn't really talk that well, but she just cried and she cried and she was just like, she communicated that she was just so happy that things had worked out because she was so scared for so long that it wasn't going to work out. And I would put all this time into something that was a pipe dream. So yeah, that was an excellent gift. She also co-signed for an apartment for me so I didn't have to live on campus when I went to school in Denver, because then I could actually live in the city as opposed to like living in kind of a repository for students. So yeah, she took me we traveled because of my mom. She took me to Montreal when I was a kid. Like she took me to New Orleans for the first time. She gave me a lot of the things that I really value. Yeah, I loved her, man. She was the best.
And I feel as though like she would obviously be loving everything you're doing today, and she didn't fake a laugh. She wouldn't fake a laugh. She would even tell you, like that one time, I'm forgetting what comedy club you're at, but you completely bombed.
Yeah, Wits End Comedy Club.
And you got off the stage and she was laughing. Yeah. They hated it.
They hated you. What was that? Oh my God. I thought you were going to stop, but you just kept going and they never liked it. They didn't like it at all. Your dad was like, it was good. And she was like, no. Like, no, it was terrible. They hated him. What are you talking about?
But that I feel like brings me to also, you and your mom kind of had a similar path. I don't know if you knew this.
What's that?
But you both dropped out of college to pursue happiness and follow an unconventional and rather uncertain path.
Yeah.
Your mom, Betsy, went to work at SeaWorld.
That's right.
Because it was fun and in Florida. Was your reasoning to pursue comedy as simple as it was fun?
I wasn't even pursuing stand-up as sincerely as I was pursuing being in a band, which was even more of a waste of time. But yeah, my mom did drop out to go to SeaWorld. Oh, Taylor, you're making me misty-eyed. Yeah, what was she thinking? She just dropped out to go move to Florida. Oh, man. It was a crazy time.
Her sister must have been a real saleswoman because she's the one who convinced her to go out and do it.
Wow.
She was like, hey, have you heard of this thing called Shamu? And all your mom said was, I'm down.
This might have been pre-Shamu. This was probably like, let's see, 53. Yeah, this is probably like, it was the 70s, man. Yeah, I don't think that she even had the promise of the coolest killer whale ever. Yeah, Aunt Julie did a good job.
So according to your mom, you could have ended up being raised in San Diego if she hadn't ran out of gas in Denver.
So I don't know if it's San Diego or Portland. It's been debated in my family.
Really? Okay, so just for fun, let's envision a world where Sam Tallent grew up in California.
Yes.
Would you have one less flannel and still be a comedian?
I would have worn so much less flannel. But I probably would be ridden with skin cancer at this point.
You're not an SPF guy?
I never wear sunscreen. I love the water. And whenever we're near the water, I go to the beach, I get cooked. It ruins the next 4 days because I'm just like a complete clamshell. But yeah, I would not have been in the flannel, except for maybe I would have been in the unbuttoned long sleeve flannel at the beach.
So I'm just curious. If I wanted sneak in to film on the rocks,
yes,
how would I go about doing that?
So the way we used to sneak into Red Rocks was you would go to the back of Red Rocks and there was 2 ways. If you could climb, like hand over fist, there was like a pretty, I don't want to say easy, but more direct route to get in the back. Or there was like this like long kind of like zigzaggy gradient that you could follow if you knew how to get up there. But
there's a couple of options. So they're like, hey, climbers, you go first.
Right. And
were you a climber?
I was not a climber. I was never a climber. No, I was definitely the zigzag kind of like, I'm fine right here. I can hear it. I can hear Tom Petty from here. You guys go in. I'll be fine. I'll just be over here chain smoking until you guys are done. I did that one once, but then then we had a flashlight the other times, and it was easier. But yeah, I don't think you can do it anymore. Well, I think they got hip to it.
You're reminding me, we used to sneak into like the local pool like after hours when like my friends and I would be drunk and stuff.
Sure.
And there was a fence and my friends would all climb up the fence and I literally once it was not even that high. Yeah. And I kid you not, imagine roly-polied off. My guy friend was just there. He goes, just fall. Yeah. And I think he was meant just like, okay, but at least help me out. Right. I roly-polied as if like he was John Cena, like ready to just like take me out.
You hit him with the frog splash.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I love sneaking into a pool, by the way. It was the best. Yeah, God, the Congress Park pool. Dipping. After the open mics in Denver, we would go skinny dip at Congress Park pool. And there was this guy named Greg Baumauer who hosted the Squire Lounge, and he had a legendary unit on him. Like it was well renowned that he had just had this biggest piece in the world. And the trick to it was like, okay, if you're going to try and hook up with her or whatever, like if you're going to make out with her, you have to get her away from when Greg is exposed. Because otherwise that's the only show in town. Right. This man swinging a grandfather clock pendulum. You're like, okay, you know what? It was nice to meet you. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, go gather around Greg. God, that guy's piece really cock blocked a lot of us.
I was going to say, it sounds like a lot of guys, like if like you guys are going out, it's like, oh, Greg's going? Nah.
No, you still go because he can't satiate everyone. You know, so hopefully there'll be some runoff.
So looking back, but what does it feel like they used to sneak in and then now you have a reserved parking spot?
That was like the coolest. That was like one of the first dates I took my wife on, was to see me host Film on the Rocks for 9,000 people. And I think it was, TJ Miller got a party bus because Deadpool just came out and he was promoting Deadpool. It was just like I looked very cool in that moment with my wife. So yeah, I mean, my friends would come and I'd come out there and be like, hey, who wants to drink Pepsi? And they'd be like, holy fuck, it's Sam. That was a cool like early flex in stand-up in Colorado.
So was that what made her want to propose to you?
I don't think so. I think it was like, I honestly think she broke her wrist twice while we were together in our first 3 years of courtship. And I was very like, I was always available due to being a stand-up. And also I was very, nurturing, and I was patient, and I helped her. And that's what she told me later on. She's like, when I broke my wrist both those times, you didn't run away. And that's how I knew you were a good guy.
See, those are definitely, I feel like, the moments when people help you in times of need. So do you feel...
Well, I did push her off that ladder, so...
You had to. You were forced to help her. But your dad was not forced to bathe you. You know, when you were 6th grade, he saw some pubes maybe in the bath.
Oh, God.
What was that like? I feel like Dave's a trooper.
I hate that. I hate this story. Oh. Yeah, I hurt my knee really bad in 6th grade, and my dad like had to help me get into the bathtub because I had this big cast on my leg. And yeah, he was like, hey, Bet, Sam's got pubes. And I was like, oh, fuck. I hate that. I remember that, and it sends chills up my spine.
Well, because it's like, I'm a man, but like your dad is in that moment when like you should feel like a man, your dad is bathing you, you know?
I never had that feeling of like I'm a man which is so sad.
I think when you turn
36.
37, it'll happen.
I hope so. But yeah, I definitely didn't have any proud ownership of my pubic thatch in that moment. I was like, no, I'm still mommy's baby. It sucked.
So you were at a strip club with Dave Chappelle, and he handed everyone stacks of $100 bills. Other than celebrating with a Nike Air Monarchs purchase, what has been your biggest flex after an impactful career moment?
Biggest flex?
Like, what'd you go and purchase?
My biggest flex is definitely just all the traveling I've done. And it's posting,
Peep the hat.
5-star dining in Florence, Italy. Those are my biggest flexes.
I lived there for 4 months.
You lived in Florence?
I studied abroad there. So we have to go back together.
Taylor,
I know.
What the hell? I'm pushing my family to go to Rome.
I'll go with you.
Taylor, let's go to Rome.
Let's just do it.
I'll tell my wife. I said, this woman that came to my hotel room in Madison and I are going on it's not romantic. Yes, there's going to be a lot of candlelit dinners. Yes, we're going on a wine tour, but don't worry. It's okay.
It's totally platonic.
It's platonic.
When in Rome.
Yeah, exactly.
When in Rome. No promises, okay? Emily, look at, come on. You and I together with some wine, although I don't drink anymore. That's what I miss, I will say.
Then it wouldn't work, Taylor. I'm sorry.
That's what I miss about drinking, Sam, is taking shots, because I felt like that was the camaraderie piece when you're drinking.
Sure, yeah.
So I will go out and I'll ask for a shot of sparkling water, and they look at me like I have 10 heads. But I literally, and my friends are like, why don't you just take a shot then? And I'm like, because I don't love how alcohol, honestly, the side effects of it with me lately.
Yeah, it's a poison.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but I miss the camaraderie.
Sure.
I miss it.
I
miss when someone's just walks up to you and hands you a shot.
Yeah.
And you don't think twice about it.
No.
You just throw it back.
I've given up on shots myself. I'm trying to limit myself to 2 Miller Lights an evening. But no one's dipping their toes into Miller Lite. You're all in.
It's a weekend without custody kind of guy.
Yeah, exactly. That's so cool. You lived in Florence. I had the best sandwich of my life in Florence. It was an eggplant sandwich.
It is a little,
all the time.
Let's compare Rex after this, because I can give you also a full itinerary. I love food so much. It's not even funny. So that's pretty much all I tell people to do when they're in Italy.
Yeah, me too.
There's of course great things to see, but that's my spot.
Flexing is the meals, though. That's the big one.
100%.
And I fly in the front of the plane a lot. I fly first class if I can.
That is my dream. I need to put my feet up now. This I feel like is how, we have to fly.
Yes, exactly.
Just
You're in a little comfortable casket, just watching some of the worst movies you've ever seen. Stand up a little bit. Perfect.
Some lion's mane mushrooms maybe you brought.
Yes.
But doesn't that keep you up?
Cordyceps put people to sleep.
God, I'm comfortable now.
Yeah, you should have been doing this the whole time.
This is great.
Recumbent podcast.
Where do I find the Live the Life You Want hat?
Oh, you find that through the National Federation of the Blind. Yeah, that's the NFB's motto is live the life you want, and they have it in Braille. And my wife and I do a lot of work with the NFB. Her more than me, but we have a shitload of blind friends. She's the treasurer of the Wild West chapter. But yeah, you can get that from, I think, nfb.com.
See, there's who would have known that question would have brought us to this? Although maybe I should have taken some context clues when I was wondering, what is that underneath?
Yeah. It's
the writing, and it was Braille. So
I love that hat. I lost that hat and I was so upset with it.
I want that hat so bad.
Yeah.
And it really comes full circle speaking to that hat and just kind of who you are, Sam, talking about being kind to people and just really that you don't care what people think. I really admire that about you. And you said this. You said, our lives are, in all caps, our lives. And no one decides your worth besides you. Don't forget that. And I just hope that
I said that?
You don't forget that, Sam.
See, when you hear your earnestness, it's so cringe. I don't know what fucking Red Roof Inn I wrote that from as I was counting out $60 in ones. But
you're like, don't ever credit me with that ever again.
Well, when you're young, you're fired up and you sold 50 tickets in Chattanooga and you're like, I've become God. That was probably one of those posts.
I don't know that feeling, but next time you bring me to Chattanooga, then I can get a taste of it.
Okay, yeah.
So let's do that. But that'll be after our trip to Italy. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's the order of operations.
And I have one more.
You can't go Chattanooga first.
I have one more prank joke that you wrote to, it looks like, Dave.
Okay.
It's like I'm passing notes like I'm in high school.
Dad, you're gay, anonymous. This is such a good joke because it says dad, so it's not anonymous. I know this looks juvenile and stupid, but this is actually one of my proudest moments. Dad, you're gay, anonymous. That is a slam dunk. Everyone take that and run it on your own father.
That, honestly, that went over my head.
Yeah.
I was like, when I saw that, I was thinking, oh my gosh, Dave is wondering who wrote that I'm gay.
No, I mean,
his
narrows
son.
it down. Yeah, it's me or Sophie. Yeah, I'm proud of that one. I remember explaining that to my wife why it was such a masterstroke, and she was like, "You called your dad gay. You're not a genius." And I was like, "Hold on, hear me out. Let me explain."
That is so good. So you were a little prankster over here, but what is coming next for you, Sam? What should we look out for? Are you going to be a filmmaker in the works with your book, Running in Light?
No, someone else is making that movie. I optioned it to someone, and hopefully it actually happens. Now that the writer's strike is open, we have a script. Russell Crowe likes it.
Wait, I'm sorry. Russell Crowe likes it?
Russell Crowe
Cinderella Man?
Yeah, Cinderella Man.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Really?
Yes.
I need to revisit Cinderella
You
Man.
have to revisit it. It literally just makes me want to punch a damn wall.
Makes you want to bear hug someone and jump down the stairs?
Yes. Well, that's what you're doing tonight, Sam.
Yeah.
I am going to just be thinking about how much fun I had with you. Truly, I feel on top of the world. This was so much fun to be able to sit down with you. The fact that you gave me the opportunity, and then that we had this type of connection, I feel like just doesn't come every day. So
no, I mean, it's because you're good at your job. So
right back at you.
At Sam Tallent on Instagram. Tallent.
Well, catch me at our birthdays, and we'll see where we're at.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. Thank you.